Moke and friends. Today it is Moke and Imani.
Yes.
How are you? I can barely hear you.
You can be okay. Can you hear
Okay,
me?
I can hear you now. You're good.
Okay.
I think that was just a quiet yes.
It was a very quiet yes.
How you doing, man?
I'm sorry, I'm next to you. Okay. I'm here.
How are you? How you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
I am pretty great. I'm glad. I guess you're my first East Coast person.
I am.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? So I did it a little earlier just because I don't know. It just felt weird to me a little bit. You know what I'm saying? To
Okay.
start at 9 your time. But and you said you're in Queens?
Yeah, I'm in Queens. Yeah.
And you said you lived in a lot of different boroughs?
Yeah, since okay, so I moved here November 2017
From
and
from 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 here.
no, I was in Houston. I
Okay.
was in Austin before I moved to Houston. I was
All
only in
right.
Houston for like 9 months. If that. And then after that, I moved to New York. And when I moved to New York, I was in Harlem at first. And
Mm.
but unfortunately, Harlem has been gentrified, so y'all should know
Yeah.
that. It's
So
not.
so it's not like paid in full.
You know what's crazy? I stayed on like I stayed in that area where paid in full would have like been like Dame and I think Dame is from like 142nd, and I'm
Uh-huh.
like 145th. I was on
Oh
140.
shit.
Yeah, that was I hated it there because
Why?
my landlord was trash. My landlord was trash. There's
All
a
right. So in New York, when you deal with landlords, do you deal with them often? Because in Texas, when you deal with landlords, you only seem to pay the rent.
well, that's because everything in your apartment works.
Okay.
So here, like, it was crazy because we moved here right before it really, really got cold. And
Uh-huh.
then maybe a month and a half into us being here, it was like a really bad blizzard. And we stayed in a basement apartment. So we, it was crazy. We stayed in a basement apartment. And if I tried to like put on the oven to cook, plus microwave, plus have the heat on, it would kick all the electricity out.
What?
Yes. And the days
So
of blizzard, electricity gone.
shit.
Yeah.
So it's rather cold there.
It was what?
It's rather cold, like in the basement.
Yeah, because technically we like the basement didn't come with like heating, like central heating.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
we're like making it work with the little, the little heater joint that's like,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying? Like we making it work with that. Because when I first moved here, I was with my then ex. Well, he was my fiance at the time, but we're not together anymore.
All
Anyway,
right.
so we're like, it was crazy because we just had one outlet that just so happened to work in the hallway. So we plugged the heater into the hallway and like faced it into our bedroom, and it was -8 degrees outside, and we were like,
Shit.
yeah, we were like calling the super, which is like the superintendent.
So if you're living in a basement, who's living on top of you?
So because it's a basement apartment, it's like it's not like a basement in a standard way, like of a basement where it's like a house and then you go down to it's not like that. It's
Yeah. Oh, okay.
yeah,
Like
it
out
was
out you have a door outside?
right, exactly.
Okay. Yeah.
Exactly. So it wasn't like a standard house and basement type of situation. It was literally an apartment complex and then there was a basement apartment. Now the thing about New York apartments that people don't know is like whenever I lived in Austin, I stayed in the Avesta Solano. I could go look up reviews and da 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 da
Yeah.
da. Out here there are no apartment names. There is only the address. So you can't even do your due diligence. You just out here freestyling hoping that your landlord is not trash. It's crazy.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's that's confusing. So then that means parking is fucked up there.
Yeah. Well, okay. So where I live now, I live in Queens, so it feels more like a neighborhood. Like there's street parking, but
Mhm.
in Harlem, it wasn't like that. Like you're barely getting a parking spot. I didn't even bring my car. I didn't bring my car out here. Um,
Wow.
So like I literally like just threw like gave everything away to like come here. So it was
Yeah.
just like, oh, okay, guys, I'm not gonna be able to pay this car note plus pay rent plus all this other stuff. So in Harlem there wasn't any parking, and then we moved to Flatbush, which is
Hmm.
in Brooklyn, and I loved
Yeah.
Brooklyn because Brooklyn had like a West Indian community, and it had like the old lady grandmas that
Yeah.
sit outside, and it felt like a neighborhood. Like you know what I mean? Like
Right.
it felt like a neighborhood. I loved it there, and they had some decent parking. I feel like if you had a car, it might be okay. And then
Hmm.
here, I feel like where I'm at now in Queens, I feel like there might be a little more parking areas
I mean,
where I'm at.
would you rather drive though, or just
No, no,
so
no.
what do you take, like subways or bus?
Yeah, I take this.
Subways?
I take the subway. Actually, it took me a while to kind of adjust to. There's pros and cons to not driving.
Right.
So the pros are like I used to sometimes meditate on the way to like work
Mm.
or take a nap.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
set my alarm, like, and stuff like that. Like, you could just fully, you could kind of relax, but then there's
Hmm.
like people with mental health issues on the train, so you can't.
Yeah. I mean, you get like what, like from homeless people to professional people, I guess, like the most professional
Everybody,
people. Mm.
everybody. I have been on the train with people who actually live on the train. I've been on the train with people who work at Wall Street. I've been on the train with celebrities. Like, I've been on the train with everybody you could be on the train with. And that's the beautiful thing about it is you see every class, race
Yeah.
on the train. That's
Do
what
you mingle? Do you mingle
hmm?
with them? Do you mingle with the people on the train?
They gonna mingle with you. so you so that's the thing about COVID. Like pre-COVID, there is something that I didn't know about New York. So many things I didn't know before I got here. And
Yeah.
there's these kids on the train, and they we call them the show times, and they're basically kids who get on the train and they dance for
Mm.
money. You know,
Yeah.
and so they're dancing around, they're doing all these cool tricks, they're flipping on the poles, they're doing all this like fun stuff. And then you have people who are pretending to be homeless, they'll try to hustle you out of some money. There's a whole it's so many things.
Yeah.
So many things. But
So
yeah,
do you enjoy like the city life?
love it.
Yeah.
Love it.
Is it like how it is just walking around and stuff? How because I feel like in Texas you got to just drive everywhere, but I feel like in New York if you're somewhere like that city, like you can just walk everywhere and it just looks fucking amazing.
Pretty much, yeah. Because
Yeah.
when I first moved here, so this is the other thing. When I first moved here, I was expecting the New York that I seen in like the movies and the TV shows,
Right.
and I was rarely in those places. And those places are
Mm.
like basically where like some of the bigger like huger businesses are, and then
Yeah.
you're not going to be like you have to go in there, and then there's no real reason for you to be in that area, like the Home Alone looking areas, like
Yeah,
like
yeah.
you're
Right,
not
yeah.
so I would like
You're
are
just there and security's looking at you crazy.
huh.
I said you're just there and security's just looking at you crazy because you're just like
Not
lingering.
really. No. No, but like I remember like when you go in, I mean, I haven't experienced this in terms of going in some like the nicest stores, like random like high end stores or whatever. People
Yeah.
don't really look at you crazy because out here anybody can have money. So there's
Right.
not going to
True.
be this like preconceived notion that you're like stealing necessarily. Not saying that they don't do
Yeah.
it, but I haven't experienced that yet. Not in a
Yeah.
high end store. I'd be in a hair store and they still follow me around the hair store. But I, and then I had to start choosing which ones I go to because you don't have to follow me around this hair store.
Yeah.
Go somewhere else. But anyway, um, yeah, walking around. I love walking around. When me and my ex used to walk around every
Mm.
weekend, we would go
Like
to.
Central, you go to Central Park?
I've only, you know, it's crazy. I've only been to Central Park one time, and I didn't even go inside of Central Park.
Mm,
Apparently,
why?
Central Park is like really big, and people sometimes people get married, and it's like really nice area there. I've seen pictures, but I actually only went once. I went to Prospect Park.
Uh,
Prospect Park is in Brooklyn, and Prospect Park is popping. Like they had, it's so dope. So to me, like Brooklyn, I would say Brooklyn is the most cultured borough out of
yeah.
all the boroughs in New York. Like Brooklyn is like all that culture is there. And they would, it was so dope. At Prospect Park on Sundays, they would have this drum circle. And there would be these
Uh,
people just out there drumming, and they were out there chiefing, and
nice.
like it was so dope. It was so. I love Prospect Park.
See, I like shit like that. I lived in Philadelphia for a summer, and I experienced some stuff like that, and that shit like changed my life because I like that tight knit, close shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Community, and everybody's like outside and stuff. Versus here is
yeah,
it's just kind of weird. Like when I was in Philadelphia, I ended up on Fourth Street, and it was just everybody was outside. I didn't know anybody, and I got invited to like a barbecue. I played basketball, and it was dope. But the only thing I learned in Philadelphia, I was standing on the corner and I was waiting for somebody to pick me up, and this dude walked up to me and he said, "Are you from here?" And I said, "No." He said, "Don't stand on the corner because they just knock niggas out." And so yeah, and so I never stood on the corner in Philadelphia ever.
that's funny. You know what's cool about living out here? Like you were saying, you like I got invited to a random barbecue. Like out here, I have had some like random encounters that I could do here that I wouldn't feel safe doing in other cities. Like I randomly like went to, I was supposed to go to one of my friend's shows, but she was my roommate at the time. I was supposed to go to her show or whatever. And I was like, well, let me get something to eat. I didn't want to go all the way back home first. So I went to this place called Urban Vegan Kitchen and
Yeah,
got something to eat. And then I like randomly seen these people there. They were like talking about something interesting. So I just got up in their business and started talking to them. We had a
really.
whole conversation, and it was cool. And it was like, well, they're not doing anything. I'm not doing anything. I'm about to go to my friend's show. I'm like, y'all can come if y'all want to. These are two men. But
Yeah,
because New York is like, there's always people around all the time. You don't
yeah.
have to get in your car. No one's following up behind
Right,
it.
right.
So we just walked to my friend's show and we hung
Mm,
out there. It's like, it was safe for me to like just kind of kick it with strangers because
right,
the way
yeah.
the city is set up. Like you'll
See,
find those days where you're just like kicking it with somebody you don't know.
yeah. I like that. I would really enjoy. I'm an introvert, I would say, but I like shit like that where you just kind of bump into people and might have something in common or something that's like kind of popping.
Yeah.
But speaking of artists in New York, this is my first question. But I when did you start singing?
So I started, okay, I always try to like make this thing concise, but it's not a concise, really like answer.
Yeah.
But I started like pursuing it like as a professional in 2014. That's when I moved to Austin. I moved from Louisiana, where I went to
Okay.
school, went to HBCU, historically black college and universities,
Hey.
Southern University, Baton Rouge, Louisiana. Hello.
Are you from Louisiana?
Yeah,
Okay.
ish, because my mom was in the military. So
Uh,
technically, like all my family's in Ohio, and we were in Ohio. My mom went to the military. We ended up going to Louisiana. I spent most of my life in Louisiana, so
okay. Yeah,
pretty
you
much
from
I'm
there.
from there, right?
Yeah.
So it's like this thing that my teacher told me, who's from Brooklyn. He was like, he told us one day, he was like, none of you want to be musicians because if you did, you'd be out there getting your ass kicked. And I was like, you're right.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? We're just sitting in a classroom. But nevertheless, in 2014, that's whenever I started to actually pursue my career. And what
hmm
I really spent most of 2014 and 2015 doing was developing my voice. I
Right.
wasn't even like doing shows, doing open mics. I wasn't doing nothing that whole time. I was developing my voice into the style that I sing it now because I was being classically trained at that time,
hmm
and my voice sounded like operatic, and I was like, I don't want to sing opera. Like I'm an
Yeah.
R&B girl.
Why
Like
not though?
why not?
Like opera, like I feel like opera has some soul in it.
That's not the genre I wanted to sing, so it didn't
Fair
matter.
enough. Fair enough. Fair enough.
You know, now I still use like some of the techniques because
Mhm.
if you can learn to sing using that technique, then you can learn how to do the other stuff
Right.
because it's like a science to it. But I started listening to a lot of jazz. Like I listened to a lot of Ella Fitzgerald. I listened to a lot of Billie Holiday, and I
Mm.
listened to a lot of Layla Hathaway. and that's how I developed my sound that I sing in now. So I started doing that.
Okay.
That's all 14, 15. And then like 15 to 16, I was like doing open mics. I was like recording my own vocals at home and stuff.
Yeah.
And then 16, 17, I pretty much didn't do anything that year because my whole entire life like hit the fan. And then at the end of 17, I moved to New York. And so
Mm.
from there, and then the first year here, I was adjusting to just being here.
Yeah.
So it was like basically you may as well say like from 2014 to now, every time I moved was time spent adjusting. So you may as well say the first year I'm just adjusting to being to where I'm at.
Yeah.
So that was a
But
long answer.
nah. It's all good. It's all good. So how's pursuing music in New York versus Texas?
Okay, so I feel like Texas, like when I lived in Austin, because Austin, like I thank God for Austin, like all my Austin friends, like I'm still cool with a lot of people. The main people that I talk to from Austin are Reggie and Azura. I don't know if you
Mm.
know who they are, um, but Azura like put me on my first show ever, and she was
Yeah.
like just putting me on to how to do things as an artist. She
Yeah.
was like, "You need to get more pictures, girl. You gotta when you do your post, you gotta do it like this." Like she just was putting me on how to like go about doing things in a more professional way. Um, and then Reggie is how I met everybody else because I
Okay.
randomly ran into him and we just had this really dope conversation. And then he told me about this thing called Butter and Jam, which is where like pretty much all the black Austin musicians go to jam and connect and
Mm.
work and family and all that type of stuff. And that's how I met everybody else that I met in Austin was from that one place.
Nice.
So, Austin, though, even though it's like you think it's like it's the South, it's this, is that, it's gonna be like easier. It's like no, like you gotta go hard or go home.
Right. Yeah.
Like you're not, no one's gonna be like. Now, I'm not gonna say people weren't like helpful and stuff like that because they did, but it was still like the energy is still very much like
Yeah.
don't come up here bullshitting.
But I feel like in New York though, it's I mean, I'm pretty sure it's a lot tougher maybe because you probably have a lot of A&Rs and stuff that really no? Like the scene's a little bit easier? Like you can get popping quicker?
It's it's all about like I feel like in terms of you being popping or not popping, I feel like it'll take. Okay, that's a hard question. It's more about when it comes to you getting out there, it's more about the opportunities that are presented to you
Right.
and how welcoming or not welcoming people are.
Mm.
So if there's a venue that does R&B, but the people who are putting the R&B shows on don't fuck with me or not welcoming to me, what can I do? I'm either gonna have to step out and just completely do my own thing,
Yeah.
or keep on until they let me in the circle type shit. Out here, you don't have to really prove as much. Now, granted, it's a different experience because whenever I was in Austin, I was still developing and learning. I'm not the musician I am today, right?
Right.
But out here, I feel like people are a little more like, okay, like come through, type shit. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? It's not you don't have now. There are yeah, there are like small little pockets and circles, but I feel like it's less. It feels like there are groups and cliques, but nobody's like boxing you out.
Right.
Nobody's
Right.
you out type shit.
That's cool. Okay.
In my experience, like in the South, in some cases, like especially when I lived in Louisiana, like before I moved to
Mm.
Texas, it was like people be trying to like box you out, and they don't want to like give you advice, or they want to just like make
Yeah.
fun of you if you're not as good, as opposed to somebody
Yeah, niggas be hating.
right. But in Texas, they'll be like a person will tell you what you need to do to get better. Like
Right.
if you want to know, they'll if
I
you
mean,
ask.
I think sometimes because I mean I've seen both sides. I've seen in Texas where people will help you, and I've seen where niggas will like don't want you to get better than them.
That's probably everywhere though.
Right, right.
Yeah, yeah. You know.
But so okay. So you're pursuing music in New York and everything.
Yeah.
So now COVID has hit.
Uh-huh.
Is that different for you, or is it you have more time to write, or does that affect you?
So COVID has been like a blessing and a curse for me.
Mm.
I had just got my first like paid show at the top of the year, literally January the 2nd, my mom's birthday, 2020. Before everything hit the fan, I had my first paid show. That shit was
But did
popping.
you did it?
Yeah, I did it.
Okay,
Like
good, good.
it was dope. A lot of my friends came out. It was in a good venue. Like I could definitely see. I was like, oh, it's about to get popping. Like you
Yeah.
know, like I'm like, if I can maintain this and keep this up, and get, you know, so that was dope. But that brings me to another point. That was another situation that happened by chance. The reason why I got that show is because I met somebody else at Fashion Week, which at the
Hmm.
time, whenever we spoke, I didn't even know that they were a musician. We
Mm.
just like sometimes you just see somebody and you're just like, I want to talk to you. You know what I mean? You
Yeah,
just
yeah,
feel
yeah.
like I just want to talk to you. You seem like you just connect with them, and so we were cool and we maintained our friendship. And then this show came up and they were like, oh, I know somebody. So they hit me up and was like, yo, you want to do this show? It was
Wow.
That's how shit works. Like anytime, most of my relationships that I have, like I don't really like massaging relationships. I like
Hmm.
to just genuinely have the ones that I had,
Right,
and I never like ask the people I have relationships with for shit.
right,
If
right.
something happens and they just be like, oh yeah, then that's what it is. But I'm never like, can you hook me up with like
Yeah.
I'm like when I think back on it now, like I feel like I know a lot of people that got like stuff going on, but I'm
Hmm.
never like put me on. I'm just like, whatever. Like if you feel compelled to tell somebody about me, cool, but I'm not gonna ask you to put me on. We about to maintain our friendship and keep it pure. Because the minute
Yeah.
we start doing too much of that, it's like our friendship might turn into something else. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah. So that's crazy. So you met this person, and then I guess y'all spoke about music,
Yeah, we just ended up talking about music.
and
Like I
then
don't even know how we got on the subject because they were like modeling for a show. It was like a
wow.
underground New York Fashion Week show, right? And
Hmm.
the reason why I was even there, this is another thing about New York. If somebody's like, "Hey, you want to do this?" Just say yes. Like
Really?
if you ain't, just say yes. Cause like the homie hit me up. I had just moved out. Me and my ex broke up. I had just moved out into my own spot. I hadn't even been there a week. They posted a picture. I liked the picture, and they were
Yeah.
like, "Hey, what are you doing?" And I was like, "Nothing." They were like, "You want to come to this Fashion Week show?" And you can, I'll take some pictures of you for free, and you can like meet some models and da 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 da. And I was like, I don't know, I don't think I have anything to wear. They're like, just pick something stylish. And I was like, fuck it. And so I did. But
Yeah.
the reason why I met them is because I was at an open mic night. But the reason why I was at the open mic night is because I went to this random talk that they had at NYU. So it's like all the
Damn.
like, it's always
Like
just
it's
like, just go do shit. If you just do
yeah.
shit that you might like actually like, you will just run into people. They'll tell you about stuff. You show up, do you
Yeah.
meet some more people. And none of those times was I trying to get hooked up. I
Yeah.
just was going because it was
You
some stuff that I wanted to do.
yeah. Damn. All
Yeah.
right. So now you have your show, and
Yeah.
so we fast forward, and then I guess or did you have anything after that show go on?
I didn't have anything lined up. I had just dropped my single. Did I? No, wait, hold on. I hadn't even dropped my single yet.
Right.
So the show was January 2nd. I dropped my single just on my website on January 11th. And then
Okay.
I
Okay.
dropped it on all streaming platforms February 11th,
Mm.
2020.
Yeah.
Um, so I was just like, yeah. I'm dropping my first single. And this is that. My artwork was fly. Like I was ready to go. And then COVID hit and I was like, I feel uninspired.
Yeah.
I feel very like, but it was crazy because I have a lot of music friends, and they were
Right.
like dropping freestyles, and I was like, y'all are inspired right now because I feel nothing. And I was like, I
Do
don't even
do you record at your house? Or
demos.
what do you
I do demos at home.
So I mean, so during like was it quarantine, you didn't get that
So the
artist.
first part of quarantine. So this is the crazy thing. The first part of quarantine, I can't. I'm not gonna go into too many details, but just know I was back in Texas for the first part of quarantine. Okay. I
Okay.
was back in Texas for the first part of
So you was
quarantine.
wilding out there.
I wasn't wilding out. Just say I was back in Texas, but
You
y'all
was
put
just
two and
back
two
in
together. Why
Texas.
y'all think I was back there for a couple of months? But I was back in Texas, and
Yeah.
so I didn't bring. And I wasn't. I was planning on being there for like 2 weeks because honestly, I thought that we were. I thought this was some bullshit at first, and I was like,
Yeah.
man, this we gonna be done with this in 2 weeks. I'll be back. Boo, 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 boom. And then it's like, oh, okay. Well, it's been a month, man. One more month will be. Like I was in denial.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I didn't have my MIDI keyboard, which is a keyboard that you, for people who don't know what a MIDI keyboard is a keyboard that you can like connect to your computer and you can use it to like make beats and stuff.
Yes.
You about to show? That's what a MIDI is. It's like a
Yes.
beat machine. And so I cooked. I didn't have that. I didn't have my
Damn.
regular keyboard. I didn't. I was just like I. I didn't have the things that I would need to like make it
Right.
happen. I didn't have anything. And so it was like I was feeling uninspired. But then I came back because I left at like the end of March. And then I
Mm.
came back very beginning of June. And then by mid June, July, I was feeling good. I was back in my space with
Oh,
my
so you
stuff.
spent like the I guess the tough lockdown in Texas then.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And y'all
because
was
I
out of like
mean, I
y'all was
know, right?
that was
Yo,
with y'all. That's like I was like, oh, y'all not wearing masks out here. I was like, oh, y'all got y'all kids out
they,
here without
they
masks. I was
they
like,
be- in Texas they you go to the bar, they're just like, yo, wear your mask, and once you get in, you can just take it off. It's just crazy. Like I when all this shit first started, like me and my homies, like we were everywhere. I'm talking like buying plane tickets because they were like $30, all this shit. And now as it kind of like for real, now as it kind of like as it's kind of going on now, I'm taking it more serious. You know what I'm saying?
see, I
And
had to because like the reason when maybe if I was in Texas and I had never lived in Louisiana, I think I would have been like everybody else too. But the
yeah,
reason why it was worse here is because, like I said, when you're on the train, you can be on the train with
yeah,
anybody. Now, so here's the thing though. Most people do not work in the neighborhood they live in.
right.
So you can stay in Harlem, but you might work in Brooklyn. And a
Mm,
person who lives in Brooklyn might work in Queens. And then you all are all on the train, and you're not going to be on one train. You're going to go on one train. You're going to get on another train. You got to walk to the.
yeah.
There's.
Uh,
It's so easy for us to be in contact, and then during like during rush hour, you shoulder to shoulder. I'm talking about
yeah.
I've never been so close to people I didn't know. I'm talking about right right here. I'm like, damn, like somebody took a nap on my shoulder one time on the train. And
Standing
I
up or
was
sitting
like,
down?
I felt so bad for him. I was like, bro, you're tired. And I just was like, I'm gonna just let son just fall asleep on my shoulder right now because it's like that's how close you are. Like personal space, forget about it.
That was pretty nice of you though.
It was. I'm a softie sometimes. Like
Yeah.
I go I let them get about 15 seconds in before I was like, all right, bro.
Oh, 15 seconds. I thought you could say
That's
like
a long
15
time.
minutes.
That's a
I
long
thought
time
you,
to let that's a long time to let a stranger sleep on your shoulder.
that is that is a long time. That's a very
I'm
long
like,
time because
I didn't want to wake him up. I was like, then he fell asleep again, and I was like,
did he look rough? Like, but did he look like a good working person, or was
yep.
he just okay?
Looked like
Okay.
somebody who have been working all fucking day.
Yeah.
And so
Look
I
at
was like,
you.
all right, man, I don't want to be mean to you, but say, bro, you do gotta kind of get on my shoulder. But but so take that into account, right? This is
Right.
pre-COVID. So then none of us, nobody in the United States is taking this serious. So if
Right.
you think about it, when shit finally hit the fan, think about how many New Yorkers probably already had it and didn't know and had been spreading it because nobody was wearing masks because we didn't even think it was a thing in the United States. So that's
Mm.
why the numbers went from 100 people to 1,000 in one weekend because people
Yeah.
were being tested. So it was like the odds of you getting COVID out here, especially during that time, were like crazy. So I think out here it's just like way more serious. And then y'all just when I got to Texas, y'all was playing volleyball together and shit with no mask.
Don't say
It's like,
y'all. Don't say y'all. I am not a part of that stuff. I don't like, I mean, I've been out, and when I say out, I mean I restaurants or whatever, but I don't haven't been to a club, bar, nothing like that. Like I try to I've been to Six Flags though, so that's probably even worse.
did you have a
So
mask on?
Six Flags, yeah, I had a mask
Oh,
on. But I mean you're still touching shit, you know what I'm saying? And but
yeah.
it wasn't, you had to make reservations to go, so it wasn't really packed. You know what I'm saying? Like there was no
Yeah.
long line, but it was still a lot of people. All it takes is probably like one person.
See, out
So,
here, it was bad out here too, because like even the restaurants, like
mhm.
you don't have personal space in restaurants either. Like because everything is like vertical, like it's tall but it
Yeah,
ain't wide,
yeah.
so you
Right,
don't
right,
really have
yeah.
much space. And so it was just, yeah, it was bad out here, but I was in here for the worst parts of it, so I don't know, but I was
Yeah.
protected though, so
So I mean, is it kind of open back up a little bit?
so it I ain't even gonna get political, but so we had went we had opened up to where you could do like outside stuff,
Yeah.
but then and that was fine, that was cool because it was warm, but then it got cold. and then,
Mm,
and then they end up shutting down indoor dining and stuff again. And
right.
so, but it was
Damn.
like cold as fuck. But then right in time for Valentine's Day, and whenever the governor of New York was in hot water, he was like, just like what Abbott did, it was like, let's open this bitch up. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like, so it was like right before Valentine's Day, it was some allegations that came out about them hiding the COVID numbers in nursing homes. And as soon as that came
Oh.
out, he was like, let's open up the bars.
Yeah. For
So open
real,
my
right?
forget all that shit.
I know niggas like, oh shit, they open the bars. Everybody forget that shit.
Yeah, same
So
thing with Abbott. He's like, they turned off the electricity. Oh, fuck it, let's open everything. Like,
yeah, them niggas, man.
okay.
So I was snooping over your Facebook and YouTube page, and I
You're
realized I
stalking
s-
me?
well I because I wanted to because I remember, I don't remember when, but I remember when I think Roland came out, I think,
Mm-hmm.
and so that's how I knew about you. But you came out with the movie, right?
Yes,
And
the short film slash music video. Check it out.
right. And so I'm gonna play the trailer. I mean, I really wanted to just play the fucking thing, but you know, it is what it is.
It is what
But
it is. Things happen. Y'all better check it out. It's so good.
but I watched it a couple of times, and it dawned on me because I didn't even think about it, but it dawned on me. What is it called? It's called a short film by Imani. That
Yeah.
this is what it's called, a short film by Imani. And I watched it twice, and then I realized, like, yo, like, did you make this?
Yeah.
Like you put that together?
Like, I directed it. I didn't shoot it,
Yeah. Well,
obviously.
I know you didn't shoot it. You know what I'm saying? Because I know you
But
didn't shoot
I
it.
directed it. I came up with the concept. I did the set design, like
Like
story.
that shit was wow. Like nigga, I know a lot of niggas aren't even making good quality music videos. You know what I'm saying? and that was a music video slash movie, and it was like really good. Were you nervous at any of that? Because I know, like, just walking on the street with a camera following you, like you look like a actress, like you were in your shit, you know.
So here's a confession. I before I was doing music, I was actually a theater major first. So acting
Mm,
was like my I guess you could kind of call it my first love. But the
yeah,
reason why I stopped acting is because like you see my personality is like super like like so
yeah,
I would like when I was in college and stuff, I would like get typecast to play like these like little innocent girls, and like I never got to express my full range of emotions and be able to
yeah,
tell the stories that I wanted to tell. So I felt like with music, I get to write, I get to
yeah,
I get to use my music videos to act. I get to do my behind the scenes thing by like directing, and I get to tell my story, like literally create a story within a story, and then the music, I get to still be a poet because I'm writing these lyrics. And so I feel like music was the best way for me to express my full range of my artistry because I'm
yeah,
probably I'm more of an artist than I am a musician. I'm
yeah.
an artist first. Like I
Can,
just like to express things.
can I play it real quick?
Yeah.
Because oh no. So this is already out.
Yes.
Now, I'm gonna play it one more time because I just want niggas to see the quality. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm a quality person. So just one more, and I'm sorry. Like that looks crazy, man. I really wish I could play the video because even like your voice is beautiful. You know what I'm
Thank you.
saying? Like it was like a fucking movie trailer. I mean, I guess it was a movie trailer. You know what I'm saying? But I can't even really. It was dope. Like I really want to play it. Like I really want to play it. But it
Thank you
was
so
like
much.
everything in it. Even when you spelled out the words in weed and stuff, I thought, was that real weed?
No, so that's it's actually oh, it was oregano. Yeah.
Okay.
And so it was
See,
oregano because I don't
that
smoke.
that's good though, because most niggas would have lied and be like, yeah, man, that was gas. You know what I'm saying? Like
Nah,
most.
I would. I don't smoke anymore, but if I did have gas, I wouldn't have the gas. I wouldn't be doing
Yeah.
that with the gas. You got to be balling to just have it on the smoke like that.
I
Like
know
give it
to
to me
be
like it
spelling out
was.
words like that. So, what? How did you come up with the idea? Like, what gave you the idea to even make that type of video?
So whenever I'm creating, like whenever I start making a song, I like get visions in my head. Like I just start
Hmm.
seeing. It's like I start seeing a movie play out in my head.
Right.
And I actually this song when I or wrote this song, I was still living in Austin.
Mm.
So this song is actually old. But
Really?
I didn't record the professional version until I moved to New York. But it has been in the world for a long time. It just hasn't been presented to y'all, but it's been with me
Yeah.
for like some years. But
Damn.
I knew it was good, and I was like, I have to get this right. So I tried to record it a few times before, or at least twice before I actually recorded it here. But it just
Mm.
wasn't right. The mix wasn't right, or something wasn't going right. So I had to just keep on trying to re-record the song. And then I was like, man, I was debating on if I should put a whole album together, and I was like, damn, that's gonna take a long time because studio time is not cheap, especially when you
Right.
get
Right.
professionally by a professional. Because my
Yeah.
engineer,
Yeah. That nigga
he,
did his. He or she did their thing.
his name is Blue. Blue
Blue.
Blue, I gotta flex. I'm sorry, y'all. Blue is a professional, okay?
Yeah.
Blue has mixed people's albums. Like he's worked with Solange, Mariah Carey. He's a mixer. Do you hear me?
Yeah.
And so, but that's a whole other story in itself. Long story short, back to what was the original question?
um.
Oh, the concept. How I came up with the
Yeah.
concept.
Yeah. Yeah.
So these ideas, like, kind of, they're like little scenes, kind of like pop in my head
Mm.
when I'm making it or when I'm listening to it after I finish recording it. And I have addicts in my family. So I just have a lot of compassion for people who have addiction.
Yeah.
And I'm a very curious person. So I'm always asking a lot of questions like, well, what is it? What is it? Like before it's a chemical imbalance and this person is like their body is dependent on it. Before it gets to that point, what
Yeah.
probably happened first? It probably started off as a recreational thing that you just
Hmm.
did when you were going out with your friends, having fun. Then it was like you had a bad day. Let me
Yeah.
hit the weed. Let me take this shot real quick because I just need to chill.
Yeah.
Then it's like every day you having a bad day. You know what I'm
Jeez.
saying?
Yeah.
And then you couple that with you're not really ever dealing with it, so now you got all this stuff stacking up on you over. It's just stacking,
Hmm.
stacking, 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 stacking. And now you drinking, you smoking, it ain't really even getting the job done no more.
Right. Yeah.
And I think I just wanted to get into that. Like I
Mm.
wanted to get into the people just going through like everyday life, and it's like you see people, and the reason why I'm so like, oh, I got this fur coat on, and I'm like in the video is because you will see a woman like that walking down the street and think she got her life together.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, oh damn, she this that whatever. You think that her life is perfect, but really like it's that Tupac line, which was one of the themes, which is you dying inside, but outside you looking fearless. Every time I hear that line, and it's from Keep Your Head Up. That
Yeah.
is that is the struggle that so many people go through. They look beautiful on the outside. They got their
Hmm.
whole shit together, and inside they're dying.
Yeah.
Inside they're contemplating suicide. You're not telling anybody about this shit. You have no idea what this person is going through. They're smiling, they're joking. They're your person that makes you happy all the time, that you go to, that you call
Right.
with. That
Yeah.
but they are dying inside. They're the strong person with the Ivy League degree. They're that person. They're the strong mom. They're the cool dad. That's like all of us and a lot of us suffer in silence. And I really wanted to address those things in this video and how, you know, that shit is crazy, man. You'd be surprised how many people are depressed.
Now, speaking of that, now that you brought that up, which brings me to another topic, the importance of self-care.
Yes.
Like I didn't know you were like passionate about it like this. You know what I'm saying? About
Oh,
like
I'm
that
super.
is very interesting now.
Yeah. Yeah. Because, like, I'm in counseling, straight up.
Yeah.
Y'all, let me tell you something. If you can afford to go to counseling, go to therapy, go. I'm telling you, it will change your life. One of the reasons why I think I held this song so long and it took me so long is because I was so scared. I was insecure. I was unsure of myself. I
Right.
was like, I don't think I can do this. What if it doesn't work out? Like automatic. Like I wouldn't reach out to people because I would assume they were going to say they didn't want to work with me.
Mm.
I would feel like I was not good enough to do it. Like it took me so long to even pursue my dream as a musician because I was like, you're not good enough. You can't sing good enough. You can't do this. You like all this negative shit. I was like, damn,
Yeah.
why are you talking to me like that, girl? Shit, and but that's how I was talking to myself.
You know, you
And
know, you know Nikki. You know Nikki.
Nikki, yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah. She told me one time, which stuck to me forever. She said, always protect how you talk to yourself. Yeah, I know. And I was just like, wow. Cause I'd be like, I don't call myself a whole ass nigga, but I call myself a whole ass nigga. You know what I'm saying? Like that. But I example. You know what I mean?
But
But
you know what we have to do? Like, it's two things. Well, one thing, we do have to protect how we talk to ourselves. And I think a good way to start is like, you have a daughter, right?
mm,
You would
that
never,
too.
you would never say that to her, would you?
No, say what? Oh, that you a whole ass nigga?
You
Nah.
see, you would never say that to her.
Nah.
So why would you say it to yourself?
Cause I'm a whole ass nigga. Nah. Um,
Because like that.
nah, no, but nah, but that makes sense though. It
Yeah.
does like that. But after I was told that, I really started protecting how I talk to myself. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like I
Yeah.
try not to say anything negative to myself. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so I feel that self care is important, and especially I don't want to say especially whatever circumstance, 'cause everybody's circumstance is different. But if you don't mind, why were you going to counseling?
So I always tell everybody that what the catalyst to me getting counseling was. So the first thing was me and my fiance broke up.
Mm,
I'm in New York. I have no family here.
right.
The closest family I have is 7.5 hours away from me.
Where's
I
that?
don't have friends here aside from people that I just randomly met or people that I work with. I don't have like day ones or nothing, right?
Mm,
It's just me. And so that happened. But before me and him broke up, the first year and a half of me being in New York, right before I moved to New York, my grandma died. A month after being in New York, my grandma who raised me died.
mm,
9 months after fucking being in New York, my aunt died. So I was adjusting to this new city. My family members were dying. On some
yeah.
shit, I thought it was my fault. On some shit, I thought I was like fucking cursed or something. And then I'm here. I'm scared. I haven't done anything because I'm still adjusting to being here. I finally get into my groove. Me and the fiance break up. I was with this man 12 years. So it's like all this shit's happening back to back. And I was like, I went to go to this open mic or whatever. And I sang this song about losing. It was a song that I did about like losing all my family and stuff. And I get home and I'm like in my bed and I see like my aunt's face like in my mind.
Right.
But and she had been gone probably over a year at this point. But when I saw her in my head, it had been like somebody just called me and was like, she died. That was
Yeah.
the feeling I had. And I was like, it's been too long for me to feel shocked. And when I ended up going to counseling, I ended up finding out it was because like I couldn't accept it.
Right.
I couldn't accept it. And so like the first session, I'm like getting choked up thinking about it. Cause I still get mad about that shit because
Yeah. Nah. Of
she
course.
was, cause she was, I just feel like, I just feel like she wasn't supposed to die. Like, I mean, I'm sure everybody feels like that, but I was like, you know, I just felt like she wasn't supposed to die. So
Right.
once I was like, okay, this is too much. I'm clearly like on the brink of like breaking. I'm like, I'm about to break at this point because it's too much happening. That's what made me like go to counseling. And after I went to counseling, that's when I was able to like start releasing my music. You
Yeah.
know? And I was still creative. I used to feel like if I fixed myself, I wouldn't be able to be creative. Like I felt like I had to be the the broken artist that was misunderstood,
Yeah.
you know, like. And then I was like,
So
no, the fuck you don't. You can actually like go get help and get yourself together and still be creative and actually put your art out because you're not in your head so much. So,
mm,
counseling, go to counseling, go to counseling.
man, yeah. I was telling my girl about that because I was like, I need to go because I have some trauma and shit that you know what I'm saying, that I need to deal with, but I deal with it like the nigga way, which is just not really deal with it and just kind of lash out when it builds up and shit.
Yeah.
But so you went to counseling. Now you're making music again, right? So at this point, you dropped the film. Like you've dropped the counseling, then you dropped the film, or dropped the film then counseling.
Counseling, then dropped a single
Okay,
that had been, which mind you, had been recorded
but
and
so
been mixed,
did
but I just
you
never put it out.
like it's? I want to ask you first. Is
Hmm.
there an album or something that's coming with that? But I want to say, who made your beat? Like everything just sounded like.
Yo, okay, I gotta tell you the story. First of all, my brother, my blood, my flesh and blood
Shout
made the
out to
beat.
brother.
My flesh and blood made the beat. Yes.
Man, that
So
motherfucker hard.
my brother, he's so raw, and this is the thing. He's not an R&B producer. He makes rap music, but I be like
Mm,
begging him. I'm like, bro, please, let's just, like,
yeah.
I'm like, come on, bro. I'm like, I'm the plug. I'm the one you need. Just give me the beats. Stop trying to give this shit to the rappers. Like,
So he,
and
he he
so
made that specifically for you?
yeah, we were in the studio together. So we were in the studio. Now, mind you, this is when I'm in Austin, so I'm like jamming all the time.
Yeah.
So we were either him. I think me and him both. I think gave each other some like pointers that day. But it was like
Mm,
I think I watched the Big Sean interview, and I think or he watched the Big Sean interview. But there were two things that we did. One, you leave a crack in the door. The crack in the door is to let God in. That's why you leave the crack in the door,
yeah.
right? Yeah. The other thing that we had got, I think, from like a Kanye interview, was that you put a movie on, and then you put the movie on silent. And when you're making the beat, it's almost like you're making the soundtrack to whatever this movie is. So the
Mm.
movie we had on was Foxy Brown.
Oh,
So
nice.
that's why like the energy of it's kind of like old school, and that's why I got the afro and the bell bottoms and all this stuff
Yeah.
in the actual video because that was like the energy it was made out of.
Okay.
Okay.
Cause I
Yeah.
was wondering why you picked like that type of era, which everything fit perfect.
Thank you.
Like that's crazy.
Yeah.
So, man,
Because
damn,
from
your
the
brother.
genesis, that's what it was. So the intention, you see what I'm saying? How that line will just keep going from beginning to end. The
Yeah.
intention is started off with that kind of energy. And so that's why it made sense for that energy to show up again in the visual because it started with a visual like that.
Yeah.
So
Did
me and
you
my brother, uh-huh.
go ahead?
So we find a sample, chop the sample. He's like making a beat, and I'm like freestyling because that's what we do in Austin. Somebody
Yeah.
plays the drums, keys, whatever, and you just like da, 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 da,
Yeah.
da. You just whatever you feel, you just doing that shit. And so I was used to doing that. And because I grew up on Texas music, man, hold up, man,
Yeah.
you used to like getting a CD that you put a whole bunch of beats on, and you
Mm-hmm.
freestyle. Like I've been freestyling since I was a kid because that
Yeah.
was that's the culture, right? So boom, I'm freestyling, I'm like singing, and I'm like I'm obsessed with Erica Badu, so I'm not even really thinking about it. I'm just singing some shit, and I'm not even realizing what I'm even doing. I'm just vibing, and then I'm like, oh, hold on, bro, let's put a part in there because I want it to sound like you're at the peak of your high. So that's when the music like drops down low, and it's
Mm.
that bridge part. Like it's supposed to make you feel like you're at your high, like you getting like you're there, right? And so boom, he does that, he changes it, and then I go in the booth and I drop a quick like reference for it. And
Yeah.
that was the start. I dropped the reference there, and then That was kind of how it all started, and that was the beat.
Wow.
I may have rearranged the beat a little bit, probably, but that's about it. Yeah.
That's pretty amazing. Like that like the whole was it a expensive video to make?
It for the actual videography itself, not including everything else, like I mean, I can give you the price. I can break it all down for you. If
Okay.
that's not if that's
Break it
not is
down.
that weird when people do that?
No, I see. I feel like people think it's weird if you ask them, so that's why I asked like
Okay.
that. You know
I'll
what I'm saying?
tell it because just to kind of give people like a realistic whatever, right?
Okay.
So just for the video and the editing of the video, nothing else, just the cinematography. That's $1,000.
Wait. Just what? The filming?
Just the filming and the editing of it, not
Okay.
everything else. So then
Okay.
you got a makeup artist. That was like 175 for the
Okay.
first makeup. Then there's the second makeup. That's another 175. Then that scene, which I'm gonna tell them everything that happens in that scene. That scene is technically choreographed. That's $400. Then you have my outfit, which is probably like, let's say maybe uh uh let's say 200 ish. The jacket was like $50. I got it on sale. The jeans were like 90. The bra was probably like 20. The shoes I already had. The necklaces I already had. I did my own hair. Thank God. You know what I mean? Like it's my hair, so I just had to do a twist out, and it turned out perfectly. Any woman with natural hair knows it is so nerve wracking when you want your fro to turn out perfectly because you never know what it might do.
Damn.
Then I had to rent out the space that we did the um, one scene in where like everything goes red. That was $80 an hour. We were there for 3 hours. Then there's like getting to the place, Ubering, all that type of stuff, and like small little minute things. And there's like, there's some things that I bought for the video that were shot, but they didn't make the final cut. So there's that type of stuff. Like it's, so it's like, I spent a good amount of money on it, but I for sure got my money's worth though. For sure. For
Right.
my little
Yeah.
indie budget.
Were you there in the editing process?
Oh yes. Oh yes. Oh yes.
Yeah, you definitely got your money's worth. Like it's crazy. You know what I'm saying? Like when I saw that, that's why I asked about the walking around New York because every place is shot, it just looked New York is like cozy and nice and beautiful, I guess.
Yeah.
I don't know if that
Yeah.
makes sense.
Now I think maybe okay, so the first part of the video is in my neighborhood. And the opening scene and all that is actually in the house I live in.
Really?
So yeah, I knew as soon as I like was checking out houses, which is so fun. It's so hard to like find a place to stay that's like worth a damn out here. And like I found this place, and I literally like prayed about it. I was like, God, please let them pick me as their roommate. I was like, please, because it's like I'm in a house. Okay, so that's another thing which I'll get to see. But everybody that I live with is a some sort of creative, either like a sculptor or a painter, a photographer, or a person who's just like fucking stylish as fuck, or a person who like works on like making their own like video games. It's like they're working on it. You know what I mean? Like everyone I live with is a creative. So when I first viewed the apartment, like if you see when I'm coming down the stairs, you'll see like this wallpaper, and it looks so retro. And so I was like, oh my god, this. I was trying to figure out when I wanted to shoot this video. I'm like, where am I going to find a retro looking house?
Yeah.
And it just so happens like me and my ex break up, I move out, and then I come view this place. And as soon as I saw it, I was like, I'm shooting my video.
You're in the retro house now.
I'm in the retro house that I need to be shooting my
Damn.
video.
That's pretty dope.
Yeah, yeah. It's everything is full circle, like it's supposed to. Like
Yeah.
after I left, I have never told this story publicly. I don't even know if maybe like two other people know this, but there's this like thing in the Bible, right? My mom made us do this movie with little, where it's like, what do they call it when you like march around? They marched around the wall and then the walls fell.
The Walls
Do
of
you know that
Jericho?
story? Yes, the walls of Jericho, right?
Yeah.
And so my mom, like, I remember my mom made us do that, like, around our house when we were kids or like teenagers, and it was like like a thing of protection, and that's why she
Hmm.
wanted us to do this, like what it represented. And so as soon as I came and saw this house, I like walked around the neighborhood. I was like, I'm doing a march. I'm like, I'm gonna get this. I'm gonna get this. I'm
Yeah.
gonna get this house. Um, I got it.
And but so are your landlords cool there?
So let me tell you how. Yeah, they are cool.
Yeah.
They're cool. They're cool. Like she tried to play hardball with me. At first, like whenever COVID hit, and they were like covering up my skylight, which I don't have a window in my room. I only have a skylight, and they were like covering it. I'm like, beloved, you think you know I'm not about to pay full rent, right?
Yeah.
You know that, right? I talked her down. I talked her down. She went with it. She didn't push. She didn't push back too hard because I
Really?
realized too, like out here, like I've become an excellent negotiator since moving out here.
Really?
Yes,
So
because
since there's not apartments, so you just really just talking to landlord, that's all it is?
no. So when I got this when I got this house, because I'm in a house in Queens,
Okay.
and then we all have like it's like a two-family house. So it's like living room, bathroom, kitchen upstairs, living room, bathroom, kitchen downstairs,
Mm.
and but except it's not like separated. It's just the stairs. That's the only. But we're all in one central place, right?
Okay.
Um, but I use this app called Roomy,
Uh-huh.
and on Roomy's a pretty good app. Just if you ever want to move to New York, you need a roommate. Don't try to come out here thinking you finna not have one. Let's start there. If you consider moving, I'm just going to look. Let me put you on game real quick. So you get on this app called Roomy, and then Roomy will let you know like how close this is to like the closest train. You
Mm.
know, if this was an apartment complex, do they have like a washer and dryer? They probably don't because you're in New York. But like it'll like let you know like the amenities and how close it is to certain things, and it's a really good app for trying to find a roommate. So my roommate, who's been here since the beginning, because we call it the palace, but my roommate's been here since like the pretty much the beginning. Um, she is the one who we like fill our own roommates. The
Mm.
landlord doesn't do it. Like we just fill it out, and that's how we decide like who is going to move in and who isn't. We just interview them and we find them ourselves, and
Mm.
that's kind of like how it's been. And that's how they got me, and they liked me.
Wow, that's cool. That's cool. I mean, c- so you never had like crazy roommates or nothing?
No,
Everybody's kind of
I
just
guess
has
I
their
guess
shit
because
together.
we really fill people out. Like since I've been here, there hasn't been any crazy
Yeah.
people. But we just you come over, we talk, and we see what it is, and like
Hmm.
if we feel right, like just rolling with
Yeah.
it. So hasn't been any crazies. Yeah.
That's cool. So, aside from music, I
Mhm.
also noticed that you, I don't know if you don't run it or what do you're a part of?
No, I'm a member. I'm a
Okay.
member of Free Thinkers. Shout out Free
Shout out Free
Thinkers.
Thinkers.
Okay,
Hey.
so Free Thinkers was a branch off from Meeting of the Minds. Meeting of the Minds was hosted by Selah. I don't know if you know who Selah is, but Selah is a poet. Um,
From here?
really in Austin.
Okay.
So she's a
I,
poet.
I,
She's a really intuitive person, passionate, and from there, that group kind of broke off. So Meeting of the Minds, still Meeting of the Minds, but then Free Thinkers broke off and did their own thing, um, and that's ran by Quentin and Nikki.
mm.
And then I just, because I like to talk, I like to run my mouth. If I could get paid to run my mouth, oh my god! It's just that I love music so much. I like other artistic
Mhm.
expressions that talking won't get the job done for me. I have to express in some other type of way. Like I have to build out a story and stuff. That's just
Yeah.
what I am. But I participate a lot in Free Thinkers. So and I moderate sometimes.
What do y'all usually talk about?
What do I like to talk about?
What do y'all usually talk about in Free Thinkers?
Everything,
Yeah.
anything. Yeah. Like because the thing is with the group, it's the whole point of it is to just throw some shit out there, see
Yeah.
what other people think. You might agree, you might not agree. Just be respectful.
Right.
And the whole point is like we're trying to learn from each other. Because if you actually
Mm.
go through most of the posts, most of us don't really be agreeing. Like we don't, we really don't. But
Yeah.
I've learned a lot of stuff. Like I would say, whenever it before Free Thinkers, when it was meeting of the minds, that was like my church. Like
Mm.
there were. This is what changed my mind about like a lot of things when I was going to a meeting of the minds. Like there was a girl there who was like a Satanist. Then you had
Oh.
like a Hotep dude there. You had like pagan people there. You had Christians. You had atheists, and we're all in a room and we're all talking about the same subject. And you might think like a Satanist might be on some bullshit, like like, but
Yeah.
the Satanist was like the most logical
Nicest.
person in the room, like
Yeah. I actually
know.
heard that like Satanists are like some pretty nice people.
Yo, and so when I was like, when I experienced that, I was like, oh, I can't. I'm gonna try my best not to go into something like having a preconceived notion about someone because I'm like that blew my mind.
Yeah.
That blew my mind, and so it was those types of conversations, it's just us being honest about things, and then even though a lot of times people would disagree, I would just kind of be in the middle, like y'all do realize y'all saying the same thing, y'all just using different words, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Just making sure y'all know that. So a lot of people, we think alike or we think similar. We have certain views that are the same, but we're just using different
Yeah.
words
You
and
just
different.
everybody's
Yeah.
articulating differently, and
Yeah, you might say light worker, another person might say prayer warrior. You know what I mean? Like, but y'all
mm.
really saying the same thing and doing the same thing, right? So I just want you to know that. So that's
Every free thinkers is pretty together. Like it never gets out of line. You never get nobody
oh,
crazy
it
in
does
there
get out of
talking.
line. We just had some drama.
Oh,
We
for
just
real?
we just had some drama. But it's like, can we talk about it? Are we willing to have a conversation about it? I think is what it's all
Mm.
about. Are you willing to have a conversation about it? Like even the two people over it, they've had drama. Public, we've had drama. We had to talk that shit out. Because the
Mm.
whole point is like we can't pretend like we're not gonna ever argue. We can't pretend like
Right.
we're not
Yeah.
gonna not
Right.
get along. We can't pretend like we're not gonna fall out sometimes. But it's like maybe sometimes you just need a break from a person. You feel me? Like maybe you just need to get them space, and you need to fade the black, and they need to fade the black. And if you can reconvene, cool. Maybe you can. But
Mm.
the whole point is, for me, anyways, is we're not gonna always see eye to eye. And if we're gonna
Right.
be in an echo chamber, what are we doing it for?
So I need to. I just start going there then. If it be popping off like that and free thinkers,
Oh
I just
yeah,
start going.
yeah. Go. I mean,
I
and if you can bring up any type of conversation, we talk about everything, like literally everything.
I see. I don't go because I was gonna go once, but I don't go because I just be really high. You know what I'm saying? And I listen to them when they call into like Smack Show, and like they're really smart. You know what I'm saying? And so I just don't want to make a fool out of myself. Is what I'm saying.
No, 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 no. We are like, it's not because it's not about like how smart you are or whatever. Like it's
I
about
know, but they know what they be talking about. I'll just come in with gibberish
but
or
all you
something.
have to do is know what you talking about in regards to what you talk about.
True.
You see what I'm saying? Like
Yeah,
you ain't
true.
gotta be like making up shit. It's like if you have something to say, say
Yeah.
it. You know what I'm saying? If you have, and me, like a lot of times, which is why I do like moderating, but I am just naturally curious. So I just ask a bunch of questions because I'm just curious as to what people think. Or if I don't know,
Mm.
I'll say I don't know. Like the whole point is not to like show off your smartness.
Right.
It's to
Yeah.
come in and be like, bro, I'm curious. What y'all in here talking about? Like on some nosy shit.
That makes sense. You're right. You're right. You're very right.
So join the group, join the actual group, and then just kind of see.
I'm a part of the group.
Oh,
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm a part of the group. I see everything that gets posted, but only thing is also is usually when y'all go on, I'm probably on because it's Tuesdays, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Tuesday, 9 Central. You're
Okay. See, I'm getting done probably like 9 something maybe. So
yeah, you can hop in. You can hop in for
yeah,
sure.
I'll probably do that. Now,
Yeah.
I'm not gonna end now, but I am tempted. And just tell me what you think. I am tempted by like when we end this. I'm I just want to play the trailer. I mean the movie. You know what I'm saying? Like
No,
I
let them come. Let them go see the
okay,
movie.
yeah, you're right. You're right. My bad.
Y'all
You're
go
right.
see
You're right.
it. Y'all go to my YouTube. If you, because
Yes,
our
you're
friend,
right.
but you know what? I'm gonna put you on my page because you giving me an excellent review.
No, but for real, man, like, cause it's impressive because I'm seeing it right now. So, is that piano yours?
Yeah, it came in. Well, it's not technically mine.
It
We
came
bought
with
it
the
from the house.
house.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, just this is pretty. It's amazing how did traffic were the people tripping in traffic when you're like walking through the streets?
No. I think I shot this
Your
I
makeup
shot
is
it on a
amazing on
weekday.
that,
I think I shot
huh?
it on a Thursday. And guess what else? This is something I gotta say. Guess what? My videographers were black men.
Yeah.
Just so y'all know. Just so y'all, it's a black owned business.
Let's
Black
talk about it,
men.
man. Was it
Hello.
Keith King?
You know, that's my brother. That's who made the beat. But
Shout out Keith King.
that's my yes. Shout out to my Brody. They're my Brody. Shout out to my other brother James, and shout out to my nieces and nephews. Y'all know I love you. Auntie loves you. Even though y'all not watching this because y'all young and y'all probably sleep or be in bed. But,
This is
yeah.
wait. So you have a behind the music?
I made my own like beyond the music where I get into like some of the first episode. I'm doing the second episode soon, which I'm
This
gonna
is
get.
crazy. I didn't even know about this. I just happened to see it.
You can
Wow.
see you kind of see some of the behind the scenes of how it went a little bit. I'm gonna do a more I'm gonna do detailed ones. That one was just a quick like this is what we kind of did. The next one I'm doing is actually gonna be on my grandma because the voice in the beginning that's my grandma. So
Wow. This is crazy. I didn't I didn't know.
I, I gotta get
Wow.
you to do my commercials because y'all just be like Moke just being like this is crazy. You need to watch this.
It is because wow. I was not like I was expecting. Wow. Hey, so you're showing how you did the
Yeah.
fair. Wow. This is okay. Yeah. People, y'all have to go. Man, that is impressive.
Thank you.
Like because like I said, most artists, especially independent artists, aren't doing anything to that type of quality. And then like the behind the scenes, just how the editing and everything's like perfect on that. That is
Yeah.
nuts.
Shout
I
out to
wish I could
Jay.
play so they could hear the beat, man. The beat's like
It's bomb.
it's very like lounge. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
it's very as I would call like a mahogany lounge type thing. You know what I'm saying? Like it's nice, man.
But it also has that
Wow.
knock. Cause y'all, I
Yeah.
grew up in the
Yes, it
South
does.
and like,
It does.
you know, we're like the same age. So like we grew up on the Texas stuff, like
Yeah.
beat down your block, knock your pictures off your wall. Like you want
Yeah.
to hear that booming or so. When I told my engineer to mix it, I was like, it needs to have that knock. Make
Yeah.
sure that it has the knock. Like you should put that on your car and you should feel that 808. You should feel all of that. You should feel it. And so because my brother's a hip hop producer, he always make like I hate everybody else's drums. Like I
Right.
can't it if I am on a beat, my brother has to do the drums. Like I haven't really worked with anybody else yet, like talking about
Wow.
that. But I'm like, I need my brother's drums because my brother he's like a Manny Fresh stan and he like 400 Degrees is his favorite album
Mm.
of all time. So you got them hard drums, and we just grew up on that. So even though it's like a soulful track, I love rap. So I needed
Yeah.
to have certain elements, and those hip hop drums are like.
So you working on an album? What's up?
I'm working on music. I'm I would like to work on an album, but because I'm indie, it would take me so long to actually.
Why?
Do you want to know how much it costs me to record?
Okay, you're right.
You understand? Look, the
How much
indie
though?
is expensive, but recording because I am recording in a professional studio. Like
Right.
I'm a stickler for quality too, as you can see,
Right.
right? Which is what takes me a long time to put stuff out because I'm like it has not perfect, but it got to be really good quality,
Yeah.
right? And so I go to a studio that is very expensive, not because I'm trying to be at the expensive studio, but because I know they're going to give me quality.
Yeah.
So I'm
Right.
like, if I have to not put out as much music so that I can get quality music, then
Mm.
that's what I got to do. But I can't wait until the album is done. Unless y'all want to donate, y'all can go to my website. Y'all can buy some T-shirts. Y'all can buy some merch. You could,
What what's your what's your website?
www.imvni.com. So Imani, except with a V instead of an A. But y'all go to my website. I got some super dope merch. Um, if you like my video, you will definitely like my cover art. And I have my cover art on some T-shirts.
Is that it?
That's it. Yes, that's it.
Hey.
It's lit. And I'm about to get afterpay, y'all. So y'all ain't gotta spend y'all whole bag on my merch, but y'all can still support. Um,
Correct.
but yeah, like I believe that I will come up on these funds, but for now, I'm just focusing on doing what I can with what I have. So
Right.
right now, I'm like working on a video. I'm not recording it yet, but I'm getting everything that I need for it. Like I'm getting the outfits together,
Hmm.
the treatment together. Like I'm, search like scouting locations, like all that type of
Yeah.
stuff. Like that I had to do for that video. Like going out on the weekends and taking pictures of where I want to be and all that type of stuff that goes into it,
Yeah.
which is actually really fun. Because I get bored quick because I'm a Gemini. So I'm always like, I'm bored. I want to do something else. So music lets me be a director and a writer and a producer and
True.
like I get to do all this stuff. Um, but I am working on a project right now that's really dope and it's totally different from Roland. So y'all expect the unexpected because I'm going to be serving some craziness on this next one. Like it's going to be insane. It's going to be insane. You're
When
not going to
when
be this shit. You're going to be. You're
when do you think it's coming out?
So after doing Roland, I learned that I should actually have all this stuff done way before I put anything out. Even before I put the single out, the video should be done. Like I'm learning
Hmm.
that now. So I'll probably start. I'll probably record the video in June. I gotta get my body right. Like it's a whole insane thing that I'm going through for this one.
Yeah.
Like I'm not getting ripped up and all that. So I may drop some songs in between there. I gotta see how I feel. But this song definitely feels like something for the colder months. I might
Yeah.
drop something in between there. I have to think about it. Um, but this is something for the colder months for sure.
Mm.
Yeah.
Okay. Is it recorded yet?
It's recorded. It's getting mixed on the 11th.
Did your brother make the beat?
Yes. It's raw.
Like he should just be your producer.
Yeah, he should. Tell him that. Tell him he don't need to give rappers no beats.
I mean, no. I mean, he still
Tell him he needs to focus on his sister.
he still do his hustle with the rap niggas. But I mean, I think that I endorse him, or however he should solely work with you, because
Oh yeah, for sure.
yeah,
My whole thing is like, and for me, I've always imagined my life being like everybody I know is on, not
yeah,
because them later, but because we all just got on. Like that's
Yeah,
how I
yeah.
envision my life. Like we all gonna get on. That's just
Right, yeah. Yeah.
and y'all. I know. Listen, listeners at home. I know y'all probably be tired of hearing this shit, but when people say network laterally, that shit's real.
When I say
Every
what?
network laterally. Instead of like
Okay.
trying to be like, let Kanye put me on. It's kind of
Yeah.
like, okay, well, shit, Moke got a show. I'm gonna do Moke show.
Hey, you know what I'm saying?
You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
and so, the homie got a show. I'm gonna do that. I'm not gonna be like, oh no, I gotta wait until Complex calls me
Yeah.
or BET. Like, no, the fuck? What are you talking about? Because what I've noticed is any and every opportunity I have gotten has been from a lateral connection.
Yeah. Yeah.
Every single one of them. And it's better that way because it's like if I'm doing my thing or whatever, something get popping and I do an interview with my homies, right?
Right.
They're gonna get the look. Then their stuff starts to
Mm-hmm.
then they might be in a position later where they popping, and it's like, oh well, I got a single, and they like, oh,
Yeah.
you can come on the show.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? And then it just keeps on, and then y'all keep moving up like this together.
Mm-hmm.
Like literally, that's how that works. And everything that I've done, it kind of trips me out. People like, oh, you doing this, you doing that, and I'm like, these are my homies. Like in my mind,
Yeah.
I'm just doing stuff with my homies, so I
Yep.
don't see it
See,
like
I totally agree with that concept too, and that's even with podcasts. You know what I'm saying? Like I just want to talk to everybody. You know what I'm saying?
that.
And if something happens, then cool. But I come across very few people who treat me pretty Hollywood. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
And
yeah.
at first, because I used to be a rapper back in my day, so at first that shit bugged me. I'm not even gonna lie, like it bugged me,
As it should.
and
Yeah, that's understandable. That's just
it,
annoying.
but see, as being a rapper, like I wanted to come on my podcast and like call people out and be whatever. But then I was like, that would not be a good look because if niggas won't want to fuck with you because they feel like if you get mad, you're gonna call them out. So I started just charging into the game and just doing my shit. You know what I'm saying? And now I'm kind of thankful for it.
Absolutely.
If that makes sense, you know what I'm saying? Like I think it would have been a good interview, but I'm thankful that it happened and it humbled me because I was on a high horse for a little bit. You know what I'm saying? It humbled
Yeah.
me. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
yeah,
Sometimes you have to be humble. Like this is the creed that I live by. Stay humble or be humble. If you
right.
stay humble,
Yes,
you'll never
yes,
like. I just be like, what I learned this lesson very early. There's a lot of lessons that I learned like whenever I was in school, and I remember I was running track,
mm,
and I didn't really give a fuck. I just wanted to get out of class because I hated being in school, and I was like, if I can get out of school early, and this is what I'm going to do. Then this is what I need to run track then
yeah.
and then I finally I started taking it serious and I would like run after school like outside of practice and I was like low key training myself and shit. I'm like, I would always like place, but I was like burning off on bitches. Like I was
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
but got comfortable, son. Started feeling
Well,
myself.
uh,
Came around on another track meet. I wasn't burning off. I wasn't putting my work in. You see what I'm saying? I learned that
yeah.
lesson very early on, right? So I just don't get like that. I'm just always like, I'm happy to be here because I
Yeah, same. Me too,
am.
man. That's why I appreciate everybody who comes on here because I'm just happy to to just talk to somebody, and I'm happy that people are interested in the fact that I'm interested in them.
Yeah, yeah.
You know,
And you have really good energy. I
really?
honestly, yeah,
Thank you.
good energy. You ask good questions, and I honestly think, and you're consistent. It's
That
like,
that that just started because I started podcasting in 2015 or 16, and there were some times where I wasn't driving shit. You know what I'm saying? But
same. consistent, sir.
But see, 2020, 2020, I think my first one was with Stacy, and we podcast, and from that point on, I was like, all right, because
Yeah,
for me, this is like therapy. You know what I'm saying? Because
yeah,
I don't like talking, but I like talking, but I like talking to new people, or I like talking to different people, just about
yeah,
different shit.
yeah. That's how I feel too. And that's the thing I wanted to tell you about COVID is like I'm because I am very empathetic,
Mm,
like I feel so much. I'm like very intuitive, like
yeah,
spiritually, like energy wise, like not to be like, oh, I'm so woke. Like it's not that. It's just
right.
like how I was born. I feel everything. Like if
Me
someone starts
too.
crying in
And
front of me,
I'm a fucking crier too, man.
yeah, like I'm like, don't even
I
know.
am a crier.
You know, like I just could feel it. And so like for me, when I go out and about, my energy gets drained so much because
Same.
I'm,
Yes.
I'm like, yo, I don't know if I could do this. Like, and so
Mm-hmm.
I love it. I love to perform, but it's not, it's rare. Like my last performance, oh my God, it was so beautiful. It was one of the first times in a long time that I had went out and performed and I didn't feel drained the next day. I felt energized because
Really?
what a lot of people don't understand when you're performing and when you're in the audience is like this person on stage is literally giving you everything that they have.
Mm.
And if you're not giving back, you're draining them. You know what I'm saying? So
Right.
it's like
Okay. Yeah.
somebody's giving their all, like give them something back. Just give them something back because guaranteed, like they're putting their whole heart out there. Like you're
Yeah.
naked, like you're being completely vulnerable. You're saying, "This is who I am. I'm ready to take whatever comes with me presenting this to y'all." And it just really takes a lot. And then don't let you, be singing a song about some stuff that you were going through, and now you're going revisiting old emotions,
Yeah.
feelings, and
Now,
maybe
now you ugly crying.
yeah, you
Now
you don't
you.
know what yeah you don't know what's going to come up on stage,
Mm-hmm.
and, especially if you relinquish all control and just let yourself be a vessel. You don't even know what's going to come out your mouth. You can
Yeah.
never say anything. You really don't know, because you're there for a reason at the right time, and you're
Hmm.
allowing your body to be used by a higher power. You're
Yeah.
letting God take, and do what He will with your body, with your mouth, with your voice, with your, you know, and so that can be draining sometimes. So I feel like since we've been in COVID, and I can like get ready at home, and I can kind of like I get a little bit more time. I don't have to commute all the way to whatever venue. Like
Yeah.
I can have these conversations. I can talk about what I'm doing. I don't have to like do all this stuff to try to get someone's attention to listen because they're trying to order another vodka on the rocks or whatever. You know what I mean? Like I
Yeah.
don't. It's like I'm able to. I feel like communicate to more people and get to more people without being as drained physically by
Yeah.
going out. I do miss it, but it has been helpful in a lot of ways too because I do a lot of stuff from home. Like after this, I'm gonna wash my face and I'm gonna lay down in bed, and I'm gonna
But
watch
it's
this video back.
I feel the same way because um for the people who know me, like hate going places and I hate driving.
Yeah,
And I mean, and I will, but like when I first started podcasting, or again, I would travel to people, you know what I mean, or they would come to me. But now
yeah,
I've just since I've been in Austin, I was traveling to people, and it was cool because I was just doing them at like 10 o'clock in the morning. But it would usually drain my whole day because during the podcast I might be drinking or smoking, so I'm fucked for the rest of the day. But now that you know, Smack and Stacy and everybody showed me this shit. I feel like I'm fucking unstoppable. You know what I'm saying? Like I've been talking to people in fucking UK. I'm talking about fucking New York. You know what I mean? Like I'm just talking to people like almost every fucking day.
yeah,
You know what I'm saying? And I was looking at my channel. And I was like, dang, like I've talked to like 14 people, and it seems like I've been doing this for like 2 or 3 weeks. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
But it's less draining because not the fact like I don't mind the face to face, but I don't have to go travel far somewhere. You know what I mean? Set
right,
up. do all this, make sure everything works. Like I literally just use this my phone, and I just have my computer right here just to like if I want to look up something. You know what I mean? And it worked. And I have a ring light, but I wanted to have like just a darker vibe today. You know, because I was felt like I just tried the Zach Morris shirt and didn't want it to pop with
Oh,
the
I wanted to
light. But
compliment you on that shirt.
huh?
Fire.
Hey, you know, it was
Fire.
a little light work, a little something out the closet just found. You
No,
know what
I was gonna
I mean?
that is so fucking dope, son. Like it's given 90s, but it's so flavored. Like that
Yeah.
shit.
It says I don't mind I don't mind sharing with people. I actually got this from drjays.com and it was like $8.
Yeah. I'm all
Yeah.
about see, I'm all about a good deal. I'm all about a good deal.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm
Then
all about
because
that.
I used to live in the Virgin Islands and so they didn't have a lot of clothes, so I would always have to order. And once I found out about Dr. J's, man, it's kind of weird like how cheap shit is on there. I don't know.
Virgin hands up. I'm gonna
Yo, bro, man, cause I'm in the islands and people like, yo, how you getting this shit? I'm just like, man, you know, just getting it from America, man. You know, like don't worry about me, man.
I got a connect out there.
Yeah. So, you got any last words? Any last words? Before we go though, I want to show you a trailer again, but because I mean, it's just the quality is dope. Oh yes, but let me before you say your last words to tell the people to go here to like and subscribe and to find the short film by Imani. You know, but
Yes.
go there to find you and you have a couple. You have I think a interview on there and like some tunes.
I have some. I started a series called How to Make It in New York. I haven't done a new episode yet because I've been working on music and stuff.
Mm.
But check it out. Follow me on Instagram. You'll see that pop up. I'm gonna drop some stuff.
Let's
Um,
see. Right
yes,
there. Is that your Instagram?
Instagram right there. Follow me on Instagram. I do a lot of updates there, and yeah, like if you want to chat with me, I'm all about slide in my DMs. Like I love
Hey.
talking to people. Like super friendly. I'm not one of those people that's gonna be like, oh my god, he's trying to holler at me.
I
Like,
think that there was actually one of my homeboys in the comments. I'm actually gonna just
hey homeboy,
this is what he said.
hey homeboy, follow me on Instagram. I
So
don't I don't be on Twitter like that, but the only difference between my Twitter and Instagram name is my Twitter name is an underscore. Um,
okay.
but yeah, homie, follow me. Go
Oh,
buy you some merch. You know,
hey.
you can look at me every day. Cause guess what? If you get you a sweatshirt with my cover art on there, matter of fact, I'm gonna show y'all. Hold
Hey, shout out Smack. Smack's in the room. Shout out Smack, man. Black Tea Talk.
on. Look, you can look at me every day, friend.
You hear this
Get you some
dude?
merch. Get
Look
you
at
some.
that. Let's go.
You feel me?
Let's
That's the cover art.
go.
And
Hey.
we got the hoodies, we got the t-shirts, we got the crop hoodies, we got the
Oh,
crop t-shirts.
so
You
you
know,
working.
you know.
You working, okay.
I'll tell you about my merch setup. We'll text or call or whatever. I'll tell you about how to go.
Okay.
But it's pretty simple though. Um,
Yes.
but yeah, y'all check me out. I would love to talk to you. If you have any questions, let me know. Moke, I want to come back on the show.
Yo, I'm gonna have you. This is great. I'm gonna have you. And the crazy thing is, I knew we were gonna talk for a little bit. I actually have a lot more questions, but we're gonna save
How
that for
long you
the.
answering this on you?
We are because I'm always hungry, and I usually not gonna lie, and I'm kind of smacked, so you know, so
I'm not
um,
mad. I'm not mad. I understand. Short and sweet, an
but
hour and a half show. That's pretty good. We fed the streets today.
hey, you know what I'm saying? I'm just trying to do new shit, trying to give back. You know what I mean? But I do appreciate you coming on. I am very impressed by your music, the quality that you're putting out, song and visual, and I look forward to your latest shit, and I don't mean to call it shit, but I look forward to your latest project. You know what I
Thank
mean,
you.
and to your latest video. And you
Thank
said
you.
that, and you said that should be what, June? No, you didn't
I
say
don't
June.
know. I just
You said
y'all just
March.
y'all
Am I
just
just
say
making up
look at.
shit?
I changed my mind. That's why I'm glad I'm an indie artist because I need to be able to change my mind because I
Yeah.
might drop a meditation. I don't know. I have
What do
some
you
meditation.
mean
I might do that. I have no idea what I'm gonna do. I know what I'm recording.
meditation music?
Huh? Yeah, I have
Meditation music?
yeah some meditation music, and
Like
it'll
you're
be.
gonna make it?
I made it. I made it. Yeah, it's just me. It's like me making the music. I don't think I'm gonna do words. I might have some that does words, and I might just
Yeah.
have the music. But it's like super relaxing music. So it's no telling. I have the stuff. I just have to figure out when I want to release it and how I want to go about releasing it. So it's no
That's a
telling when you might
great
get some.
idea, man. Wow. Like I just thought to myself, I was like, yo, maybe you should make this meditation music and sell it as merch. And then I was just like, all right, like your art is done. Like it's of course it's gonna be merch. Or
Yeah, there's gonna
is it
be
just
merch.
for you?
I'm like super positive, so I like to like drop positive little nuggets here and there. So it'll
Yeah.
be in that family of things. But you never know when I'm gonna drop what. Y'all just need to follow me on everything so you
All
can
right.
get the birth of what's going on.
Hell yeah. So Moke and friends, it is Moke and Imani. Please
Yes.
follow her. Man, thank you for being on this show. Like I really enjoyed it. This was fun.
Thank you. I enjoyed it too. I felt like I've been talking to my homie. This is
Hey,
great.
and now we are.
And now we are
Yes,
smoking
now we
friends.
are.
And now we're friends.
We're friends now. You see the tagline. So I'm gonna take you out this room and I'm gonna play this. So thank you, God bless, and have a great night. And
Thank
man,
you.
go to Central Park. Go to Central
Yes.
Park.
Next time I come on, I'm gonna have a report that I've been to Central Park
Thank you.
just for
Thank
Moke
you.
Friends.
All right,
Thank
man. It
you,
was good
y'all.
talking to
Bye,
you.
y'all.
Bye.
Bye.
People, that was Morgan Friends. Shout out Imani. This was a great episode. I really want y'all to go check out the short film. Is really dope. I'm gonna play the trailer. But thanks for watching my show and watching my dope ass intro at the end.